on East Harding Street, Big Red Store, in reference to a robbery. While en route to the store, officers were advised that the clerk had possibly been shot. Upon arrival, they found the clerk, Mr. Hardy, Singh, on the west side of the building in a kneeling position with multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. Our Detective McAfee arrived on the scene and took over the investigation. I observed Mr. Singh on the west side of the building with multiple gunshots to his upper body and unresponsive. Mr. Singh was later pronounced dead at the scene by the coroner. After reviewing audio-video surveillance, it was found that the suspect vehicle was a early 2000 model Cadillac DeVille, pewter or brown in color, occupied by two males. The suspect vehicle pulled into the parking lot of the Big Red Store approximately 10 minutes prior to the shooting. The brown Cadillac parked at the gas pumps near the front door. The clerk, Mr. Hardy Singh, exited the store and walked to the west side of the building smoking a cigarette. The brown Cadillac then backed up and pulled to the inner side of the last gas pump. Upon all other customers leaving the building, the passenger, a heavy-built black male wearing a white t-shirt and black shorts, got out of the brown Cadillac. The passenger went to the store, looked around, purchased a drink from the clerk, which was in the store. The passenger then exited the store and returned to the passenger side of the brown Cadillac. It appeared that the passenger had a conversation with the driver. Then the driver exited the vehicle. The driver had a slender build and was wearing a black and silver mask, a striped white long sleeve button-down shirt, and blue jeans. The driver began walking in a skipping motion, holding a handgun, and went directly to the west side of the building where Singh was and fired 3 shots at Singh. The driver then went inside the business and went to the register. The driver began pushing buttons on the register and then turned the register key. The driver took cash from the register and from under the till of the register. The driver then exited the building, walking in a skipping motion with the gun and cash in his hand. The suspects fled the scene, traveling west on East Harding and then north on Wisconsin in the brown Cadillac. While viewing the surveillance, I observed the second clerk squat down near the rack as a suspect wearing the black and silver mask entered the business. Bolo posting was broadcast via radio and social media giving description of the Cadillac and 2 suspects. After further investigation, it was found that the passenger was identified as Mr. Shaquille Carter. Bolo posted for Mr. Carter was broadcast via Facebook and via radio. On June 23, 2015, officers were in the area of West 17th and Mulberry and saw a vehicle matching the description of the brown Cadillac. I arrived on scene and was able to identify the suspect vehicle through special features from the surveillance video. Officers also saw a black male matching the description of the masked suspect. Officers detained the black male and the vehicle was towed to the Pine Bluff Police Department holding bay awaiting a search warrant. On scene, the black male that was detained identified himself as Mr. Lorenzo Kellon. Mr. Kellon blurted out to the officers, "I already know y'all were looking for the vehicle in reference to the homicide, but I was just picking it up for a friend because she heard it had bullets inside it." Mr. Kellon was transported to the Pine Bluff Police Department Detective Office. Kellon was read his rights, Miranda rights, and an interview was conducted. Mr. Kellon confessed to shooting Singh and robbing the Big Red Store. Mr. Kellon provided an address where the gun and mask used in the homicide were located. The gun and mask were located and collected as evidence by the crime scene division of the Pine Bluff Police Department. Mr. Kellon was transported and booked in on probable cause of capital murder and aggravated robbery. On June 24, 2015, I received a tip that Mr. Carter was in the area of 19th and Kentucky. Within minutes of the search, a relative called and turned Carter in. Carter was transported to Pine Bluff Police Department. Carter was read his Miranda rights. Carter admitted he went to the Big Red Store with Kellon, but denied knowing anything about the robbery. After further investigation, speaking with other witnesses, Carter was arrested and booked in for capital murder and aggravated robbery. would ask, Your Honor, that this being a capital murder case, and no bond be set.
John, may I speak?
Hang on just 1 second, I'll give you the opportunity to do it just a second, okay? All right, gentlemen, the court is going to find probable cause to hold you in this matter and will grant the state's request for no bond in this case. You'll have a return date back to this court on August the 11th of this year at 9 a.m. And start with Mr. Kellon. Do you plan to hire an attorney to represent you?
Yeah, I need an attorney.
Okay. Do you work anywhere?
Oh, no.
How do you support yourself?
My mom and I get support.
Do you own any property of any value? We will appoint a public defender for you. Mr. Carter, do you plan to hire an attorney to represent you?
Yeah, no.
You do. Okay, very good. Now, Mr. Kellon, I know that you want to speak. However, I want to tell you that you are not currently represented by counsel, that there's not anyone here standing with you, and that you could inadvertently or accidentally say something that would harm you without realizing it. So I would encourage you not to speak until you have the assistance of counsel, because that's the prosecutor sitting right there, and they can use anything that you say against you, okay?
Everything they got time for me anyway.
All right. So, will you wait until you speak with a lawyer before you speak?
Who's gonna hire me a lawyer?
Well, we've appointed one for you. I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you, okay? And so they'll be coming to visit with you, and you will have an attorney, okay? All right. You gentlemen may return to your seat.